Hello students, in this lecture I am going to tell you about the events in sexual reproduction. As we have seen what are the characteristic features of sexual reproduction, what is the sexuality in organism, and in this very video I am going to tell you about the events in sexual reproduction. As you can see here, there are three major events, that is known as pre-fertilization event, fertilization, and then post fertilization events. So in pre fertilization event, this is also of two types, gametogenesis, or you can say the formation of gametes, and gamete transfer. Second is the fertilization. Fertilization may be external fertilization or internal fertilization. And then after fertilization there is post fertilization, which involve the formation of zygote and differentiation of zygote into embryo, and from embryo to the new organism. So we will see here one by one. First of all, you can see gametogenesis. Gametogenesis, as I told, that this is the formation of gamete, and in every individual, gametogenesis can be called as by different names. For example, if I am talking about the humans, there the gametogenesis in male is known as spermatogenesis, spermatogenesis, that is the formation of sperm, and oogenesis, that is the formation of ovum. So gametogenesis is simply the formation of gamete, and these gametes are always haploid, whether the cells producing them are haploid or diploid. Point to be remember, gametes are always haploid in nature, whether the cells producing them are haploid or diploid. And the fusion product of gamete is always diploid, because meiosis will occur in all the sexually reproducing organism, and it reduces the chromosome number to half. And the cells which undergo meiosis to produce haploid structures are called meiocytes. What they are called? They are called meiocytes. To whom we can call as meiocyte the cells which undergo meiosis to produce haploid structure. It is called meiocyte, or this is also known as gamete mother cell. This is also known as gamete mother cell. So crossing over occur during meiosis, and there must be formation of new variation. And the germinal cells, or the cells which can produce gametes or give rise to gametes, are also diploid, and they function as meiocyte. So you got it, that the germinal cells, or the cells which produce the gamete, are diploid in nature, and they can also be called as gamete mother cells. Whether the parent is haploid or diploid, gametes are always haploid. You got it? Whether the parent is haploid or diploid, gametes are always haploid. That is, they possess only one set of chromosome. So you see in this diagram that there are many types of gametes. These are the isogametes. This is heterogametes. This is also heterogametes. Isogametes, this is the example of cladophora and alga. This is the example of fucus, fucus, fucus and alga, and this is the example of human beings. So here you can say that the structure of both the gametes are similar. That's why they are also known as isogametes. Here you can see that this is the female gamete, or this is also known as macrogamete, and this is the male gamete or microgamete. So these organisms show heterogamety because one is large and second one is very small. You can see here also that in case of human beings the ovum is very much larger and the sperm is very much small, and they also show heterogamity. So an individual organism may be homothallic or heterothallic, as I told you in earlier video that they may be monoecious or dioecious, and their gametes may be isogametes or homogametes or heterogametes. Okay, so uh, one thing you have to remember that the male gametes are always smaller in size and they are produced in larger number. Always you have to remember that male gametes are very much smaller in size because they have to approach to female gamete. Female gamete are always larger in size and it is stationary because they have not to move to any places. Only male gamete has to reach or has to approach to female gamete. See here, that's why they are very much smaller in size and always released in very large number. Uh, and there must be a medium through which the male gamete move. So in several plants like algae, bryo, pteridophytes, water is the medium through which these gamete transfer takes place, and a large number of male gametes are produced because some may fail to reach or to approach the female gamete. So to compensate this loss of male gamete during transport, the number of male gamete produced is several thousand times the number of female gametes produced. And in seed plant, what is the uh, mode of transfer? In seeded plant, you can see there is pollen grains. See here, this is a pollen grain which can be called as male gamete, and they have to approach uh, on the stigma, and this you can say this process is known as pollination, the transfer of pollen grain from anther to the stigma of the flower. It is known as pollination. Pollination may be self or cross pollination. You will study in next chapter what is the meaning of self pollination and cross pollination. So in case of plant, you can see here that pollen grain can be called as the male gamete and they have to approach to the female one, and how they got sticked here on the stigma of the flower. So this is the gametogenesis and gamete transfer, and so gametogenesis and gamete transfer. In next video we will discuss about the fertilization.